Don't have to tell you, the last few months have been stressful. It can start to take a toll on our health and our
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, Ronnie, how you doing?
All right, how about y'all?
Doing good.
Fine.
Good morning, good evening, all.
Before they become an issue, to see how your retirement plan stands in the new normal, take our retirement stress test challenge. Visit stresstestkc.com for your complimentary retirement stress test today from Retirement Solutions Group.
Imagine how
Everyone hear me?
would be without power,
We
Yeah,
can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
heating, or cooling.
Thank you.
Electronics. But with a Generac home standby generator, you will have power when you need it most.
Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you.
yep, not a problem.
Okay. Just checking to make sure it's working.
Our premier dealer of Generac generators in the entire KC area. Call C.M. Lowe's and Son today. You'd think if anything could bring the two parties in Washington together, it would be a major public health crisis. But that's not happening. Even testing, masks are turning into partisan political fights. As a doctor, this really concerns me. Politicians acting like children at the
What have y'all been doing this week?
leaders will do what's right for the country, not their
Suffering through the heat.
Suffering through the heat, huh?
Yeah.
I'll gladly swap you, it's freezing here.
There you are. Hello. How's everything down in Australia?
Yeah, cold and wet.
Cold and wet. Well, it's hot and wet here.
We got the wet.
Send it to Kansas.
Actually, we're going to get a good day today, according to the weather. It's 19 degrees.
What?
Look at how big that dog is.
There I am.
There are no worries for centering.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Nothing much. How about you? Where's the captain at? I don't see him on the screen.
I don't either. Hope he ain't rowing a boat.
There he is.
Around.
He abandoned ship.
Management must have him doing something.
Okay, yeah, you know, the phone will ring. I hope that they'll call my wife and talk to my wife because I'm on the air, and then she'll understand. But she's over in Ponchatoula, and they're flooding. So Ronnie and I live in the New Orleans area, and we've been lucky. One went this way, one went that way, and we've just had a lot of wind and a lot of rain for a couple of days. And it's winding outside, but I feel terrible for those folks in Texas and Sabine Valley. They're going to really catch heck. So, all right, we're gonna start formally in just a few minutes or informally. We got a pretty good crowd in here, and I'm going to blank out again to see if I can help with getting it all set up. Stick around, Ronnie. You got it.
All right, I got it. Go ahead. Does anybody have anything to start the show with tonight? Show and tell. Anybody's got anything to show? Y'all been hiding in the broom closet?
Ron, this is Dan. I've got some new toy today.
Okay, let's see it.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, nice.
What you got there?
Hey, what you got? Come on, let's see. If you got something, you got to push the space bar, hold it up, and talk.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Ordered this from Nancy, about 2 weeks ago, and she shipped it out last Monday, and it was supposed to get here last Friday. Well, it ended up getting here today, so I sent her a message saying that I find it, and I got the software downloaded, and if she had any words of wisdom, and she called me on the phone and walked me through the first project.
That's the good part about being friends with Nancy. Stay friends with Nancy.
Yeah. So
You back with us, Eddie?
Pardon?
I said you back with us?
Yeah, I just had to send a message out and get my sister taken care of.
I wanted to make sure you're back. We got an old friend that's joining us tonight of yours, Stephen.
An old friend of mine. Who's that,
Stephen
Ronnie?
Olgie. Yeah, Stephen Olgie's with us. Pick
Really?
him up. Yeah, pick him up. I sent him an invite, and he joined. He's in the crowd.
Wow. Okay. Great. We
I
always
heard
look
Cat was here.
There he is. Let's see.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, I don't have an image. Do you get an image, Ronnie? I got
No,
an
I
image.
didn't get an image.
Now, wait. I think we got an image now. That you, Steve?
Nope, that don't look like him.
Nope. Okay, that didn't work out. Something happened.
I'm
It was
here.
there, and then he was gone.
He's saying
Okay.
he's here.
Oh, well, best laid plans of mice and men.
Wave your hand, Steve.
I guess you could see me.
No video.
No, I can't. I don't get an image. I got a name.
Yeah.
See if I can.
Steve, you're gonna have to turn your video on. I don't think you have your video on.
Oh, I've never done this before. I don't really know.
We'll bring you up to speed.
Start
Don't worry
video?
about it. We act like we haven't done it before,
Oh,
too.
okay. There we go. I figured it out, I think.
All right. Well, welcome, sir. Welcome.
Always
I see
wanted to meet
Johnny.
you, Captain.
There he is.
Yeah, I
Hello
always
there.
wanted to meet you, Captain.
It's my pleasure. Hey, Doug, is that soup or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're halfway through Doug's dinner here.
That's it.
For everybody that watches YouTube, Steve's been absent for about 8 months, and I've been after him to come back and everything else, and he came back, and let's hope he's back to stay.
I hope so. I'm retired now, and I really don't have a whole lot to do except wood turn and do some videos. So,
And using that smoker you built.
yeah, I've used it quite a bit too. Oh, Gertie.
First question for you, Steve. Is today Monday? Look, he had to think about it for a minute.
Yeah. Actually, I had to think today was Wednesday, so I wouldn't miss the meeting.
That's a problem we run into. There's a lot of us on the bench right now, and we really do forget what day it is.
Yeah.
My wife was very surprised today when one of her grand nephews told her, next week's my birthday, and she said, "Oh no, it can't be next week. Your birthday's in September." And his 5-year-old looked at her and said, "That's next week." So I'm glad it's just not me feeling that way around here. So, all right, let's crank into it, folks. I'm Captain Eddie Castle, and Ronnie Bonnett's with us right now. I see Ron Radcliffe is out there. Johnny Hughes is out there. We're expecting a couple others to join us tonight. Those are the folks I call our co-hosts. That is just kind of a high-ranked position. It pays twice as much as it does to be the moderator. But you can do that high angle math. 2 times 0 is 0. All right. But I have these folks lined up, like Kim is lined up. Mark comes in, Doug, Dane, Johnny. We have all these turners that have expressed interest in what we do and help us. Now, we had a demonstration scheduled for tonight. they couldn't make it, but we don't pay for these demonstrations. We ask you to help us with that. And our support Steve, hello, our support staff jumps in and helps us when we need it.
I took it.
Okay, if you don't need to chat with us, turn off your microphone. I can mute everybody, but I think we'll do that at 7 o'clock. But until then, if you got a lot of background sounds, mute yourself. It's a little button on your screen that says mute, and you press that.
Eddie, you
You
muted.
muted yourself, Eddie.
Yourself.
I did that. I pointed at it and did that, huh? Okay. See how easy it was? Not working for me today. I don't see who that was, but I need to let him know. Yeah, if I can only see this much at the top of your head, I can't see you.
Mute yourself because there was.
And oh yeah, right now before we get started, and I like to get started, I'd like to hear some more from you folks. If you want to chat, press the space bar on your computer. It's different on your telephone, your Android, and all that other stuff. Press the space bar and say, "Hi, I've got something to chat about." Or we ask you to show a picture. Say, "Hey, I'm here." Now, one of our co-hosts is jumping in tonight, and he'll be watching for that when I have word that he's online. When you say in chat, which is another button at the bottom of the screen, you say, "I have a gallery item." That co-host will contact you and get you in line to be on gallery. And he'll just say, "Eddie, Bob's got this," or whatever, and we'll have the link up and get to you. And we're always looking for gallery items. So what you got? What you got? You've been turning. You can't go anywhere. There's a hurricane. You've been turning, of course. Hello? Did I mute myself again?
Nah.
No, you there, Eddie.
I'm there. Hey, I see Australia's here.
Hey, I got something, Eddie.
Who's that? Dennis?
Yeah.
Say something, Dennis. Keep going.
Right here. The one with the beard.
I got you. I just can't. You're on right now, so go ahead.
All right. I made a little bowl with ambrosia maple.
Whoa. Now it looks like you made rings and then made a bowl.
Yeah, I always use flat wood and then I glue it.
It looks really nice. I like the way the figuring looks like it connects, but doesn't connect between the lines. Or the sections.
When I glue it up, I try to make patterns and stuff like that.
Okay. And you have that option when you're using rings. So.
Yeah, I do a lot of moving wood around, and I do a lot of gluing up like this.
All right. What finish do you have on it?
I got a beeswax on it.
Okay. It looks good. It's got a nice soft look to it. That's one of those things that'll get picked up and handled forever. You know that.
Right. Well, it's going on the market on Saturday.
Good. All right. Good luck with it.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, I know you won't be bringing it back home. Somebody's going to scoop that thing up. Listen, what else? Come on. You've been turning, guys, gals. And we had a lot of folks that have called this week to add this, add that, and I tell you, I just did a little video for my website today because I've been on the phone to a dozen folks this week. That's not an exaggeration, and they all want to know about that 40-40 grind. Well, if I could get that kind of press for this operation, we'd be home free. But hey, I remind you, we don't pay dues. We don't have a magazine. We don't have anything like that. So we're pretty much free. But they all want to know about a 40-40 grind, and it's because they're seeing all these demonstrations on YouTube and the internet where turners are jumping in with a 40-40 grind and doing some really awesome sweeps and cuts and turns and all. And I talked to these folks, says, how much experience do you have? That's the first thing I ask them, how much experience do you have? What are you turning with? Now, what I get is, I'm new, I'm using my Harbor Freight set of tools, or the ones I got free with my lathe when I bought it. And I've seen all these videos, so I want to start turning like that. I break their hearts when I tell them that is not going to happen. Just isn't going to happen. If you understand the concept of the 40-40, you have to have your platform at 40. The 40 is between the flute and then the face. And to get that, you set the jig at that. But then you have to roll it out and roll it back, holding it to that 40-40 angle and the other angle. All right. If you do it, you're all right. If you don't understand it, you're in a world of hurt. Ron Brown makes a jig to help you do it if you've got a sharpening system, Wolverine, Black Hawk, any of those. But a little adapter you put in there to help you get there. But do you need to get there? That's what I ask. Can't you use a simple grind and learn how to use that grind? What I remind people of, it's simple. My 58 Chevy ran faster with white wall tires than black tires. Believe anything you want, but that's the truth.
Oh my God.
That's Betty. Betty having a good time. All right. I'm opening up the line, so anybody who wants to get in can get in. I see the chat building up tonight. Bob Moffitt. Bob, I'm ready for you. Talk to me. We got it.
Okay. I got a couple of pieces here. This is a piece of cherry burl. Can you see it?
Yes, sir, I do. Pick it up a little bit more. I want you to be the star.
Oh, okay, there you go. Piece of cherry burl that I turned. Natural edge.
All right, what do you have on it for finish?
It's got a Minwax antique oil finish on it.
Okay, good. I like the coloring and the pattern in it. That's nice.
Well, that's the natural color of it. And this is a piece I turned a while back. Went to a demo on scorching, but they used a propane torch. I mean a butane torch, and I didn't have one, so I used a propane torch. Well, it set my piece of wood on fire, but it made the grain pop out real good. And so that's that. Piece of elm.
Is it set on fire?
It's dyed black and it's dyed red.
Okay.
If the light looks just right, you can see the red, but mainly it looks black. I carved the spirals in it.
Okay, and you dyed it?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the finish?
Minwax antique oil. That's my favorite finish.
All right.
And that's it.
Okay, well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I see our co-host in Tucson's in there with us tonight. He's going to be watching the gallery and telling us who's got what, when, where, and how. And throw it to him right now. Do you have anything out there, Dane?
Yes, we do. We got Dan Billhart.
All right, Dan, go ahead. Start.
The local club has been having a challenge each month to do different things to try to keep people turning. Well, our challenge just last month was jewelry. So here's some jewelry pieces that I made. There's bangles. I had Dennis Belcher last month, and he was talking about water-soluble dyes. So I got some of the water-soluble dyes that he was using and used his technique to dye them, and then I sprayed them with Krylon acrylic. And then the other thing I did some necklaces. This is from Hillary Bowden's book.
I like that.
I like that. That's pretty.
Yeah. I wouldn't wear that style. Okay, I'll get that straight.
It doesn't go with my decor either. But then here's another one.
Nice color mix.
And I was going to, I started out turning some black beads, and I quickly realized I didn't have enough time to make the number of beads that I was going to need. So I went to Hobby Lobby and got the round beads from Hobby Lobby, but the wedge-shaped pieces are all turned from a ring and then sliced up with a scroll saw.
Okay.
And then one more, another colored one here.
You got mail. Yeah. Okay. Boy, it's a biscuit. Whole computer.
That's it. And then this the last meeting we had, I can't remember who was who did the demonstration, was talking about offset turning, so I've been playing with that. There's one of my things I did with multi-axis turning.
That's nice. That's really nice. That'll make you eyes. That'll cross your eyes. That's
Yeah.
the problem with that. Yeah.
I've been watching Michael Hoslock's video on the stuff that he does, so I'm going to try that next too.
Okay,
That's
great.
it.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it. And I didn't make the note I should have made, but we had a fellow send in a photograph of they're wig stands that he gives to folks who have lost their hair and now wearing wigs. And I didn't put the, what's that?
I'm here. It's Bruce from Tennessee.
That's who did it.
Yes,
Say it again, Bruce.
Bruce from Tennessee.
Okay, we got you now. Tell us more about that program, Bruce.
Okay, well, you're all familiar with the Beads of Courage, where you make boxes for the girls and boys, patients at Children's Hospital to put their necklaces in. But
yes,
the young ladies, when they have chemotherapy, they lose their hair. Where they get free wigs, but they do not have a wig stand. So therefore, our wig turning club is donating wig stands, and I made 52 wig stands that you have the picture of.
We're going to use that photograph in the newsletter, and it'll go to our website, worldwidewoodturners.org. But I had it on my notes and just didn't follow through to have it up tonight. I apologize, but that is a beautiful project.
Well, we have a drawing at the end of the year too, and everyone that's done a wig stand gets one ticket. So I got 52 tickets. So I might have $100 gift certificate on woodcraft.
So you stuffed the voting box, huh? Okay. You're in Tennessee, but you should be in Louisiana with those kind of thoughts. Thank you, Bruce. That's a very beautiful piece. Very nice. Thank you.
Do you have one of them there, Bruce?
I have them down in the basement. I'll go get one.
Yeah, sure, because I can't call the photograph up while we do this. Here's the deal, woodturners. We really care about what you turn, but we have a no-but rule. And the no-but rule is, I can look at it, you can look at it. He can show it, they can show it. But nobody can say that's nice, but. There's no buts allowed, no buts. So if you got a beautiful piece, you're not going to be insulted or talked down to, or what do you think about this? Nope, that ain't going to happen. I want to see what you turn. That's your work. That's the beauty of it. That's your work. Dane, we got anybody else in the bullpen?
Doug Miller.
Say again?
Doug Miller. Jump in there, Doug.
All right. Hey, Eddie.
Oh,
I'm through with my suit now.
All right. I'm glad you've done that, sir.
This week I was doing some other things and decided to go out and get some work done. Got a little piece of ambrosia maple and spun it around. It's about 8 inches diameter and about 3.5 tall. Lots and lots of ambrosia in this one. One thing I did a little different. Normally I use a tenon. This time I used a recess and was able to put some beads in there and just use that as some decoration on the bottom. Finished with abrasive paste and wax is all.
Abrasive paste and wax.
Uh-huh.
That's a nice soft finish, that is.
Yes. Feels real good in the hand. In fact, it's still losing weight. It's a good bit lighter than it was when I turned it Saturday.
Okay, great. color? I got to say that. No color?
No color. That's all natural.
For those that don't know, new members, Doug has done some really unique coloring on pieces for us, and we put an article in for him. It's what we're here for. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate you sharing that tonight.
Thank you.
If you have anything that you'd like to show, you can type it into the chat box. Dane out in Tucson, Arizona, gets that information and he relays it to us, and then we make sure we get it. So you see, you don't have to wait in line. I hope I get the button pressed at the right time. Go to chat. Oh, I got to say this now because we had a problem a couple of weeks ago. If you want to save what's in the chat, like we're going to get some names and addresses and websites and all that stuff that'll come out, we ask you to put all that information in chat. And if you want the chat, all you have to do is where it says chat, click on that. In the bottom right-hand corner, there's 3 dots in the square. You click on that and it says save chat. But here's the problem. It'll save everything before that point. Nothing after that point. So if you're going to leave the meeting, save the chat. If you're just going to depart for a few minutes and you leave the meeting up, you don't have to do that. But before we finish off tonight, I'll remind you again, save the chat. I go to it all the time to find out which attorney and what the address was and who's got the email. And in fact, I used those emails from last week to spend a few bucks. All right, got an in-more gallery up there right now?
Hey, Eddie. Eddie.
Hi, that's Bruce. Okay, we're gonna go back to.
Here's one of the wig stands right here.
Yelling for somebody else? Oh, okay.
And here's another one. They're all different. And one of the things that was fun was being able to turn different wig stands and to practice that type of cut.
That one you had a moment ago had a cap.
All 52 of them are absolutely different.
Okay, just now you showed us one with the captive ring on it.
Yep, captive ring. There it is.
You see, that's a skill builder. That's not a project, that's a skill builder.
Exactly.
Because if the ring doesn't work out, all you got to do is retool that area and keep going.
You got to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Appreciate that. And we often talk about skill builders. I tell new turners it's a cheap, easy way to get out. Get a ink pen kits. They're cheap. Don't go nuts on us now. Get the ink pen kits and turn the pens to a shape that you like. But what you're going to do is you're going to be able to practice roughing, removing the material, and then doing final cuts. And you can do I can do a pen soup to nuts with a roughing gouge because that's got a terrible name for a great tool. But it's how you slice with the tool, and something as simple as a pen, 2 pieces of wood, 3 inches long, 2.5 inches long. You can find that on the shop floor. No big deal. And I think the first sergeant's checking in just now. But
I'm here.
You take that piece and turn it, you'll get to practice the roughing, and then if you need to use a 3/8 gouge, learn how to do slicing with that. And the best thing I learned how to do it on was a simple skew. And I learned how to make those fine little curly Q cuts. And you get, once you have that, put the pens away, then you're ready for anything and everything. Doug, you're on tap tonight, aren't you?
Calling Fern.
Okay.
Well, I thought you were.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, Eddie.
Eddie, Kim's got something she would like to show.
All right, Tim.
Hey, y'all.
Oh, Kim. I thought he called you Tim.
That's okay. Can you guys hear me fine?
Well, we got you.
Okay, good, because my microphone has been messing up lately, and I don't know why. Anyways, here's the finished bowl that I was working on last week during the meeting.
Tell us a little bit about that finish. I love the bowl, but tell me about that finish.
It's magnolia tree. It wasn't 100% dry. The tree was cut down around March. But it didn't warp much and it didn't crack. So that was great. So it was kind of turned wet, essentially. The finish on it, or the color that I used, is the Ulta dye, and I'll put a link to the website in the chat. This is what I used to dye it. It's a fabric and a wood dye. You can put alcohol with it. Sometimes I'll add alcohol with it to lighten it up so I can see the wood grain a little better, but it still does show. This I did not put alcohol on. I just put it on there, let it dry. And then as the lathe was turning, I took alcohol inks I got from Amazon. They're just the cheaper, you know, knockoff versions of them, but it worked perfect. So I just dropped it on as I was turning, and I did 3 different colors, the blue, green, and white. And surprisingly, I thought it was just going to sling everywhere and make a hot mess, but it didn't. This was an experiment. I've never done this before. It just kind of looked like little water droplets, like colored rain, you know. And then I put Total Boat 2-to-1 on it as a finish, and then I also sprinkled some extra fine glitter on it as the resin was curing, just to give it a little bit more dimension and sparkle, because, you know, girls like glitter. And this is my pasta bowl. I make my pasta in here, my pasta noodles.
Good. All right. That's really a beautiful piece.
This how-to video will be this Thursday video.
This Thursday's video. All right.
Thursday's video.
We've peeked in and saw you working on it a few times,
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I like that. And folks, Kim's got her own channel on YouTube, and it's Ken Tippin, Tippin, and she does a look what you can do video, not look what I can do. And I like them. Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome.
Dane, I understand we have a couple other folks that lined up and got in the box. Can we get to them?
Got Jack in Victoria, Texas, and then John from Colstad after Jack.
All right. Jack,
Okay,
go ahead.
This is Jack. This is Jack. You got me yet? Jack, I'm waving my hands. I'm talking.
I gotcha.
There we are.
Jack.
Earlier this year, a friend of mine cut down some old trees in their backyard. I think she said they were hackberry, and I've never turned hackberry before. But I went over there and ended up with 27 logs about 18 inches long and maybe 14 inches in diameter. And asked her what I could do for her to you know, can I make something for you? And I had told her about these, what do you call them? M&M bowls. I think I just told you about those last week. They're just bowls that you dump in M&Ms in, and when you scoop them out, they fall in your hand and not outside. Anyway, so she wanted me to make her, by Christmas, to make her 3 M&M bowls that she wanted to give to her kids that grew up swinging on swings on those trees. It's something for them to remember from the trees that they cut down. So I've rough turned 4 of them. This is what they look like. I'm going to see if I can get it. Now you can't really see the grain in this thing. It's got the most unique grain in it.
We can see it right there. That looks good.
Okay. Let me hit the outside, and it's just really wavy. Maybe, yeah, this is showing up a little bit. Trying to get the light on it right. Not really coming up good, but it's very wavy. It's a very interesting grain. This shows up a little bit better over here. It's with the dark lines on it. So, and I put a 1 coat of spray lacquer on the outside just to let them sit and dry, so they'll dry more from the inside. I'm gonna let them sit for a couple months. Still got the tenon on the back. Let them sit for a couple months and do whatever they're gonna do. And then when I end up with things like this area right here where there's a crack, that'll probably open up a little bit more. And then I'll go in and I'll fill that with turquoise, and then finish it off real nice, and they'll be very shiny. And the reason, again, that I call them M&M bowls is you can fill it with M&Ms, and when you scoop it out, see, it's got this undercut. When you scoop it out, the M&Ms fall back in your hand. They don't fall on the outside of the bowl. So I got 4 of those. Great.
Thank you, Jack. I appreciate showing tonight. A great tip there. Zane, I understand somebody's got a tool they want to show tonight. I'm trying to dump this out and get back. Okay, that won't do it. All right, I'll do this because something didn't click. If you have your audio up and it's not muted, we hit everything behind you. So if that TV's got to be on, it's okay. We'd rather not hear that. So mute your own speaker. Since that won't work, we're going to mute everybody.
Returns to series television in Filthy Rich, premiering this fall on My Fox 23.
All right. Well, I don't know if anybody can hear me.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, this is John. Can you hear me, Eddie?
Yeah, John, I have you. Go ahead.
All right. Well, anyway, I was going to show this tool. I don't know. I can't show it too well. Maybe if I hold it over my head in the background.
Yeah, we got you
anyway,
now.
You got that now? All right. Well,
Yes,
this
sir.
is kind of a neat little tool. And I built it. Actually, I was kind of inspired by a few things you'd done and some other people. But anyway, this lays on a tool rest like this, and you put it in there. And this little spring shows you how big or how thick the walls are while you're turning. It's got one of those 16 millimeter blades in it. Anyway, it works really well, and I've been working on it for about a week. I made a kind of an urn thing out there, but I haven't finished it, so I didn't bring that in. But I just wanted to share that, and thanks for the inspiration, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you showing it, John. John is out of Washington. Co-host, I'm having a problem finding the mute all. I'm trying to get that.
Especially by the afternoon. Our chances of rain will continue through your Friday as a result of Laura. Temperatures a little bit cooler with a high around 85 degrees, and then we're going to be back into the 90s.
I can't.
I got it. You're muted, Eddie. You're muted. There you go.
Now I should be back. Okay. I couldn't get it to click up. Here's the thing, and maybe you don't hear it or know it, but if you have the TV on in the background, or the wife is howling at you from across the hall, or the grandkids playing, we hear all that, and we can't hear the rest of the program. So we don't like to mute it. I'd rather not. It keeps an open forum, but when the noise overdrives, we have to for a while. It's coming up on 3 minutes to the hour, top of the hour. I'm at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time, and this is when the program is actually supposed to begin. Have to mention again, because we want to get you folks involved, if you have a gallery item, go to the chat thing on the bottom of the screen and type in, I have a gallery item. Now, Dane in Tucson, Arizona is helping us with this. He's another member, another co-host, another member of the club or organization, whichever you want to call it. Dane will let us know when he's got a gallery item, and we'll go right to you. So you don't have to say, try to get in. Same thing with the tool tip, information, if you're buying. See, Kim just told us about the alcohol dyes and where she gets them at. She's already put it on the text. So if you want to know, go to chat, click on it, and say save chat. You've got that already saved. So if you forget to do it later, then you still have the information. But right now, we'll look at anybody's work that wants to chat. Just put it in there so we can get into it. And I see a lot of old friends and folks that we haven't seen in a while popping in here tonight. Rick just popped in. Good to see him. And I have a few little things. Like, all right. We had a special demonstration scheduled for this evening, but because of the weather and a few other things, we had to back out of that a little bit. So we're going to get that set up. Now, how do we do that? We ask you, the members, the builders, the founders, all the people helping us, if you've got a demonstration you'd like to share with everybody in here, we're interested. Contact us at our email. Our email is worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. gmail.com. Now, our website's got a different address, and that's to look at it. It's worldwidewoodturners.org, O-R-G, not com, worldwidewoodturners.org. Pardon me. And I'm working on getting the new logo put so we can see it. And we're still selling those decals from the original logo that we had. And we've just about collected enough money to cover the original cost. We still have them, $2 for one, 3 for 2, 4 for whatever. That's how we have them, and we'd love you to get involved in this. It's going to perpetuate what we want to do in the future for items that people are asking for. Again, beating the drum, we do not have a membership fee. We do not ask you to buy a magazine or join a group or anything else. This is you supporting Woodwork Talking. I got a couple of slides to show you tonight. Let me see if I can pop these up and show you, because I was glad I found this. You know, we're all talking about what's happening in this COVID world, and how people are adapting to this, and schools that are opening, schools that are not opening, and classes that can't be held. Well, I have one here, and this is a great example. Let me get to the right one. A great example, and this is the Mark Adams School of Woodworking, and this is what they did for their separation. They all have masks on, they all have eyewear on, and you've got these dividers between each of the booths so that we have that social distancing thing going on. Now, see this, it took a little planning for him to get around it, but he got around it. And they're going to continue to have classes. That's the initial one. I love that idea. We can get over this impact of pandemic and get right back into wood turning again. And if you got something to add, jump on board. You're there.
Eddie, this is Mark.
Oh, hey, Mark, how are you?
I'm pretty good for an old bald-headed wood turner.
Well, you're not lying about that. Okay.
Anyway, I'll show you a couple items here real quick. Here's another little layered bowl. I don't know.
Pull it back to you.
Okay. That's a little maple, Paduke, and walnut. It's real simple, but maple has a little chatoyance in it. And that's got one coat of Parfix 3408 on it and buffed with Von X. And here's a little, made a little test tube flower vase today. And it's a piece of, I don't know, it keeps going in and out. That's got really nice, it's a little piece of big leaf maple burl. Got some nice chatoyance.
Boy, does it.
And it's got African blackwood, a little insert at the top that the test tube goes in. Take the flowers out and you can see. There's the little test tube. And it's got just a African blackwood base. And it's got, again, finished with one coat of Parfix 3408 and buffed with Von X.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Folks, I'm going to do a little minor introduction here. This is Mark Soleil. Mark is the master of wood slicing. He probably doesn't like to use that term, but Mark doesn't gouge. He slices. He doesn't plow the field. He slices. And if you've seen the demonstrations, you'll understand what I was talking about a little while ago. When you tip the tool right and you understand how that knife cuts, if it's a knife, how it cuts, then you'll totally understand wood turning. And one of my mentors one time picked up a broomstick and put a knife straight across it and said, "Is this how you shave the side off that?" And I said, "Well, you're kicking on a little bit of an angle." He said, "Pay attention to what you just said, kicking on a little bit of an angle." So thank you, Mark. Mark's always in the background for us if we need help. He shows off these pieces. I love that piece. Oh, with the chatoyance in it. Dane, you got anybody else up in the gallery? Wayne is from Tucson, and
Eddie, I got a laser depth gauge I want to show you that I made.
you did? What you made, Bob?
It's a laser depth gauge made out of PVC. And this is a little cat chasing laser that you get at Walmart. And this is all just 1/2-inch PVC, and I got a little level on the top of it. And when you put this into the bottom of the bowl and press your laser, and it shows you exactly where it is. You can't see that. I saw it.
Do your plumbing friends know you stole this from them? I mean, the PVC?
Yeah. Got it at Lowe's.
Got it at Lowe's. Great. And those little lasers, they're everywhere.
With the double handle, it makes it more sturdy than just with a single handle.
Right. Keep an idea what's in your hand, what's plumb, without guessing it. That's a nice gizmo, really is.
And if you do a hollow form, you can put it into the bottom of the hollow form, or you can put it into a bowl, and you know exactly where you are.
Yep. And if that way the inside dimension doesn't exceed the outside dimension, right?
Well, hopefully not.
Thank you, Bob.
If it does, you didn't push the button.
Yeah. And we run into that a lot. I think the first sergeant's in there. I can't get him up right here. So talk to me, Sarge.
Doug in Arizona, first sergeant.
Oh, there we go. I was still on mute. That's why. Oh, I see myself. So we're looking for gallery. I have a gallery, but it's more of a oops gallery.
Oh,
we've all been there, but I'll show you mine. Let me get back around. Here we go. So there's that cool hollowing system I had to have, and I do love this thing. But let's take a look and see what happened. Dun, 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 dun. Move the tool rest. What do you guys think is coming? There's the funnel.
Oh, where did like that in the middle come from?
Oh, is that a chuck we see through there?
Oh my goodness.
So, well, what are we gonna do with this thing? This was just an odd shaped piece of wood I decided to mess around with. It's another piece of elm. And I have not been successful yet at turning a sphere. So that's my goal, is to try and turn a sphere and set it on top of that. And I'll come up with something to put in the back. Because of the way I messed around with it, though, to get the jaws to actually fit with my weird shape that I was dealing with, it's concave in there. So I'm thinking about maybe coming up with some way to put a light in there and then turn a resin sphere to put on the top. We'll see. I don't know.
Well, it's good to see some things from the Oops Gallery, yes. But hey, Doug, I got an idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Why don't we throw this out to Mark Soleil? And you can do the work. Mark, take a look at it, Mark, because you come up this way to put these interlays, sort of, into pieces and cut them back out again.
Since it's already concave on the back, right? He could make a little like a four-legged back on that. In other words, each one of the corners could come out to a little support point, or he might be able to take, and instead of maybe having that concave, maybe make it convex, and then turn around and put a small base on it, like a Gaboon ebony or African blackwood base, to raise it up off the table. And then have your sphere on top. I like that idea a lot.
All right.
So, see, Mark? I mean, Doug, we can dig up some stuff around here.
We sure can.
Good. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you jumping in the band right there. And that's what we do, and that's why we're here. And if you've got a comment about that, you got an idea? Come on, let's have it. We'd love to hear about this. Say again?
Eddie.
Yes, Ronnie.
Why don't you go to Stephen Oldry? Stephen Oldry had a oak bowl this week, that he's been laying up underneath his workbench, and he brought it out, trued it up, and turned it. Let him show it to us.
All right, Steve, I think that's you. Is that who you're talking about, Ronnie?
Yeah, Ronnie, but that bowl belongs to my daughter-in-law, and I don't have access to it right now. Sorry. I do have the video up now, but
he already claimed it, huh?
Yeah, I didn't get your message until just before the meeting. Maybe I can show it next week.
There you go. Why don't you show us your shop, Steve?
Excuse me?
Why don't you show us your shop? Because everybody watches you.
It's very small. It's I think it's even smaller than Captain's. But this is
that's
it.
tiny.
It's a 12 by 20. It was a prefabricated building, but I guess everybody can see that. I'm actually, one of my future videos very soon is going to be a shop tour anyway. Got very little room, and actually I've got a lot of equipment in here, but I think the floor's about to fall in.
Well, you're not alone in that. I'm just getting to where I'm allowed back in the shop, and it looks like my slab has had a main crack through it. So we're now looking at a portable building to take the lathe and the bandsaw and the drill press and leave some stuff behind. But, you know, I don't need all that stuff to turn wood. And because I've been a real tool hog my whole life, so which might be beneficial. I might be able to pay for the building with some of that. So thank you. Well, Steven, next week we're looking for the gallery from you. And if that has to be that piece, just have a piece. How's that?
Yes, sir.
All right. And he knows it. Once they claim it, if it's family, it's gone. I used to have to search my kids before they left. You know, now I got to watch my grandkids before they leave. So anybody else?
Eddie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Doug Rowe here again. But,
go ahead, Doug.
So, hey, I just want to call out Steve there again a little bit. Now, I know Ronnie had asked him to show a bowl, and he didn't have it because he'd already given it away, and we all understand that. Steve is one of the first turners on YouTube that got me turned on to this sport. And one of the things I loved about him was how he always had ways of making stuff without spending an exorbitant amount of money. Shy of my lathe, that's the only thing I've spent a ton of money on. I've tried to build little things here and there. Steve's been a big inspiration to me in that. So I know I'm just one guy. So he's done that for tons of people out there all over the world. And if he's got anything in that shop just to pull up and show us how he made, I promise you, Steve, if you're interested in that stuff, you are amazing at doing that.
That's a great, thank you, Doug, because that's what makes a good turner great, is to share.
Yeah, same here. I could say the same for me. I stalked Steve for like 2 years before I started turning, so.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Thank y'all a lot. That's why I started my channel, just to kind of give back a little bit. Because turners like Captain Eddie and Carl Jacobson, Bob Hamilton, you know, they're the ones that inspired me actually to get into wood turning to begin with myself. And I'm just glad to kind of pass the buck on a little bit. But there's a tool that I built. If anybody wants to see it, if you can.
Oh, boy, do I want one of those. Come on back. I got to get this up.
Yeah, it's a hook tool that I built out of a Craftsman saw blade, 10-inch Craftsman saw blade, and it's hardened steel. And if you're cutting end grain, that is really the deal right there. It will eat end grain. I know you know that, Cap.
Yeah.
Very good tool, and all I did was I cut the saw blade. I cut out about a 1/2-inch strip right out of it, heated up to glowing, and bent it and sharpened the inside right here. And buddy, it will cut.
Now there's a rush.
It was an easy project.
Steve, you ought to do a video on that and show us. I
might do it. I actually thought about doing it until one guy told me it was too big, and it is a big hook, but it cuts really well. As long as it's sharp, there's no catches.
No.
And it cuts in grain like butter.
So can you use that to make a captive ring?
No. No,
Okay.
it's too hooked for that, but you could make something similar to do that.
Okay.
Will it cut on both sides?
It only cuts on the top side right here. It goes into your piece, and this top edge is what does all the cutting.
And so what do you primarily use that tool for?
I use it like in vases and things like that where I need to hollow in end grain.
Okay. Okay.
Anything hollow and end grain, it's great for cutting end grain.
No pullouts. It slices off because of the configuration of the cutter. So it will slice the material off instead of pulling it out.
Right. And it really does a good job at it.
Yeah.
How do you sharpen it?
I'm sorry.
Somebody had a question?
Yeah. How do you sharpen that?
I sharpen it with my Dremel and the finest grinding wheel I can get. That's the only way I can sharpen it, because you have to sharpen the inside of that curve.
Yeah, don't touch it outside, right?
No, that's it's got a very slight bevel on the backside, but I mean you can't even hardly see it. But it's just a very slight bevel on the backside, and best way to sharpen it is just use your Dremel, and it'll wear out. You know, you'll wear it out and have to build another one after so long. But a Dremel sharpens it real good if you've got a good little grinding wheel for it.
Good idea. Good idea. Go ahead.
Yeah, Captain Eddie, excuse me there. How do you position the tool? Is it right on center line, a little bit above, or a little bit below?
Actually, it's a little bit above. And it's at a weird tilt too. I found when I made it, and it may not be made like some of the commercial hook tools, but it's almost at an angle where you would think it wouldn't cut. It's really weird. It's turned almost straight up, but it peels shavings out like crazy. I'll try to do a video on that, or maybe some kind of demonstration for you guys.
Rig it up and have a piece, and we'll come to you one Wednesday night, and you can show us how it's gone. That's what we do.
That sounds good.
Sounds good. Thank you. There's a wood turner out of Ronnie. Is it that guy out of Russia? That Ronnie and I want.
It's either Russia or Yugoslavia, and he works with a tool like that, but he has two edges on it, the front side and the back side. And he'll actually turn that tool around and work it the opposite side. And I mean, he really makes that thing walk and talk.
Yeah, and when I first saw it, I had to stop the YouTube because I couldn't believe he was cutting on the wrong side of the bowl. But get this, it was in forward, just regular cuts, you know, with the bowl turning over to you. He could watch his cutter work. And a lot of you can't do that. You can't bend. We're old guys. You can't bend over enough to watch that cutter work. You have to know how it works and feel how it works. And this guy figured out the way to do it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with what we just now saw. But you know, you keep adding technique to these ideas, and that's what we're looking for. Really, really great idea. Anybody else up with gallery tonight? It's wide open. What you got? You got anything, Zane? Dane?
Yeah, I've got some stuff I'll bring in. I've been doing bull work this week, but Jason Cullett, he's got something to show us.
Who's that now?
Jason Cullett.
Jason, go ahead. I got to get your spot up here. Start talking, Jason.
Oh, I was just commenting on Doug's oops, you know, on his bull, and I posted a picture of one I did this last week, and I had a little bit of an oops on it. It's posted on the Facebook, and I think I sent it to you for gallery too.
Oh, okay. I got
It's
a lot of photos this
little
week
ash,
on gallery.
Yeah, it's a little ash bowl, and it's got a piece of Paduke right in the middle.
From Mark's Soy idea, huh?
Well, it was an oops. Got a little deep. But
all right.
I was able to at least make it hold something.
Yeah, well, you saved wood. Didn't go to the bonfire.
Those oopses give it character.
Yeah.
Yep.
Always. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate the update on it this evening.
Yep.
A couple of weeks ago, Mark was showing us how there was an oops or a crack or whatever. He sliced, I don't have anything here. He sliced a piece off down the side, put a piece in it, then put it back together again, and that gave it an accent band. Not a band, that'd be an accent stave. How would you describe that? But it changed the whole look of the piece, really. From Doug Miller. All right.
Eddie?
Yes, sir.
We have somebody hiding in the background. We got Pole Barn with us tonight.
Pole Barn? He's got to say something, Ronnie, because I'm looking at the 50 screen. I can't pick anybody out. Here's the deal, folks, and I'm not fussing. If you'd like to talk to us, if you'd like to show us something, hold down your space bar and start talking, because then your picture gets a highlight. Because I'm looking at a screen of about.
There I am.
It doesn't got. Yeah.
All right,
Right now.
And Stephen Ogle, by the way, I followed him for a couple of years, and I started my channel, and he stopped. So no, I fell over my horse, guys, and then broke my bottom side. So I haven't been able to walk to get in my shop for a month now. So, where did everybody go? How come I can't hear nobody?
I can hear you. I'm talking
all
to
right.
you.
There's Eddie.
We muted everybody else. I mean, you were the only star we have on table right now.
Oh no. I seen Stephen Ogle in here. I did follow him before he stopped for a while.
All right. Thank you, Paul Barn. And somebody else just threw a note up on chat, but I don't see the chat. Dane does. And again, if you have something to share, Dane talked about that saw blade. That's going to come up. I mean, Steve just talked about that saw blade. That's going to come up. You're going to ask, what was that blade again? And where'd you get it? How did you know? If that goes to the chat, the dimensions, size, width, or whatever you use will be in the chat, and he'll put in the information, and then you have a record of it. Because, hey, we don't carry pens and pencils with us to make records. Anybody else up for chat tonight, for gallery tonight? We got a little bit of time here since our demonstration couldn't happen.
I got a few items I can show off that I've done this week.
All right, we can do that, sir. Let's pop right into you. Go ahead.
All right. Wait for you to pull me up here. It's Dane in Tucson. So did a little natural edge, a little bit of coloring, a bit of skill color. That white Arizona ash, got it with this big crazy dye. And then doing a series of hole sets with this dyed purple texturing on the band, purple.
Could you stand a little closer to the microphone?
Do what?
Stand a little closer to the microphone.
How's that?
That's better.
Okay. And then, so we got another one that's done in black rim. And next size up. And the next size up. And so these are all Chilean mesquite.
They're all what, sir?
And I have about 6 more under the lathe to knock out.
Nice.
And they're all finished in one coat of Parfix 3408 and Buff Phonics.
Right. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it, Dane. And Dane is one of our hosts. He keeps an eye on a gallery for us. And remember, if you'd like to get in there, you can just type it into the chat room. Dan will see it. Dan will tell us about it, and we'll get you up on it. It's coming up on 7:25 or 25 minutes after the hour, and we're opening the floor up today. I have another photo to share with you. I think I do. Yeah, I sure do. This is one that I'm particularly fond of. Whoop, that ain't the one. All right, I'm started screen sharing, but it's not sharing the screen. All right, and get back out of that. Because I had one with our website on it. And our website is worldwidewoodturners.org. There's a www in the front. worldwidewoodturners.org. Now, that is where you will find the invitation to all the future meetings. On the cover page, right-hand side, down about that far, there'll be a little link button, and that says how to get there. Now, I know it's there, and I know it works because I know the guy that put it together, and he's sitting right here with us. This is Dave, and Dave is our webmaster. Good evening, sir. Oh, got to unmute yourself there, Dave. That didn't work either.
Try it again, Doug.
There you go. Nope, we can't get you. Can't get Dave unmuted. It's a configuration problem. Oh, there's a microphone problem, Dave. We get you. It's a delayed speed, and it drops it out. Just when we get hooked on it. All right, we'll pop and check Dave in a few minutes. Dave is our webmaster. As a volunteer of this organization or club, they put this website together. Now get this. There's links to all the videos we've produced and the programs that we have videos of. They're all on that channel. All the photographs you email me at worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com, they're on there. Blips and things that we get that we can share from other media groups, they're on there. Our calendar events is on there, and it's a really well put together, expert put together website. And Dave does maintaining for us. If you've got something you want to put there, it's easy. Send me the email at worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. Send me the photographs. I need to get a newsletter out probably this weekend, and I've got a lot of things for it, but I got 9 spaces on the gallery I don't have any photographs for. 9 spaces. So I'm hoping that you folks come across, because last month I had to put Tom, Dick, and Harry in there because I didn't have 3 spaces. I don't want to do that again. I'm going to put my picture in or something like that. All right. Anybody else up for gallery tonight?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Okay, hey, since we had our demo that got canceled, I tried throwing something really quick together on the fly, and I got it ready. So if you want me to do that, I'll do that for you.
You're on the fly. I think we'll take that on the fly.
All right. So whenever you're ready, you can flip me over there.
There you are.
Okay, and let me get you all turned around. Okay, so it's almost September. So in the wood turning world, that means the holiday season's about to start. We got to start making our Hanukkah ornaments. At my house, that's Hanukkah and Christmas ornaments. At your house, whatever ornaments you need to make. So this is my little tip, and then I'll kind of show you something. So right there is just a bag of your traditional Christmas ornaments, right? That is from the thrift store for probably about $2. I don't care about the Christmas balls. What I care about.
Oh, you're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Down right there.
Hardware.
That low maintenance,
make.
I remember as a
Can
kid.
y'all see that now that I come back?
Yeah, we used to have to take those out of broken ornaments and put them in good ornaments. Yes.
Right. So now what you're going to do is go to this thrift store, spend $3, $4, $5, buy yourself a bag of ornaments that you don't want, and pull those tops off, and then you put them right on your ornament that you just made on your lathe. Okay. So that's the little tip. The quick little demo is going out to the garage, and you got to find the tackle box. And in your tackle box, you got them little dealy wheelies for your spinners, right?
Yes.
Well, those make excellent spinny thingamabobbers to put on a Christmas ornament. So here's just a cheater pen that I'd made, but I grabbed it because, well, we make Christmas ornaments similar, right? So you drill yourself a hole on the end. I'll give you sound effects. There we go. See, I just drilled that hole. Boom. Now
What
there's
size?
a hole right there. Did you like that sound effect?
I did. Yeah, it sounds, that drill sounds
so
good.
Then you're gonna take your little spinny dealy wheelie from
What
the tackle
size
box.
is that sound effect?
And, and that was a 220 volt too. Take your little spinny dealy wheelie there, and you cut the one end off of it. See how I did that? There's still the loop on one side.
Yeah.
And the other side's cut off. Now I'm gonna drop that right down into the hole after I put a drop of CA glue in it. Let me, whoa, that's the thin. I'll get CA glue all over my hands. Where's my medium? There's my medium. I'm gonna put you back in the tripod. And I'm gonna turn you around again. Okay, I'm gonna grab my.
Boy, this is really on the fly, folks.
Making this up, so I'm gonna put a dab in there. That was a little bit more than a dab, but that's okay. Then I got to put the readers on so I can see what the heck I'm doing. I'm going to drop that in there without getting any glue on the top side. That's going to stay because I'm a seriously ADD person. I don't wait for glue to dry. And then I'll be right back in just a second. Somewhere
You really...
at that thrift store near those Christmas ornaments is a bunch of them hooks that they only cost about $1 brand new. So don't pay more than about, 50 cents for them. And then I'm gonna run my hook right through my loop-de-loop. And now I've got a Christmas ornament that spins. Just stuff out of the tackle box in the thrift store.
Hey, Doug, I got an idea here.
What you got?
And it's real bright. What if we would do a Christmas ornament challenge for this group?
I'm liking it.
All right. Here's the deal. It's a photograph contest. There are rules. And the rule would be you can make as many of these as you want. They can be any shape you want. They can be any product you want. So that's kind of loose. But one of the main rules is whatever you send us a photograph of, you must, and that's the deal, must give it away to somebody.
I like it.
Yeah, and now we will put all those photographs on our I've got a problem with this. All our photographs on our website. We'll put them in our newsletters. We'll use them here on the program, and we'll give you all the ideas because Christmas is coming.
Why don't you send them to the troops?
I can. I can definitely do that. I would have to find a specific unit to send them to so I could box them up and push them out, similar that I do with the pens. We're gonna, of course, we're gonna worry about them being fragile, but I'm not gonna say no to that. I'm gonna find a way to yes. So if you guys want to push stuff out to go to the troops, then we can do that. That's gonna get a little pricey on the packaging for Eddie. So if you guys want to do that, I think it's time that I just put my address out there. Then you all can push it to me instead of sending it to Eddie. Then he boxes it up and then he pays again to send it out to me, and he's paying heavier freight. So
And I
in
don't have a
Army
budget.
terms, this is how we say it in the Army: prepare to copy, and that means go grab you a pen. And I'm gonna rattle it off, and then I'll figure out how to put it in the chat. Yeah, my wife's not home, so she's not gonna know I'm doing this yet. So my address
maybe
is,
some.
the
I was gonna
address
say
is
maybe some.
4125. I'll say again, 4125 North Kearney, Kearny Drive, Prescott Valley, although it's pronounced Prescott, Prescott Valley, Arizona, 86314. And I'll go ahead and put that in the chat.
Good. That's where we needed that. And then, folks, at the end of the evening, when you're ready to leave, press save chat, and you'll have that address when you go make those ornaments. And boy, do I look forward to this. This is great. All right, we're talking skill builders. We're talking decoration and art, a technique, how to hollow something out, how not to hollow something out, to make icicles. I mean, hey, Doug, I'm not knocking it. That's a simple project. That is.
Turned inside out.
Say again, Dane?
Turned inside out ornaments.
Ooh, now that's almost cheating. Inside outs are, and you know, that's a math thing. Okay, all that math you didn't pay attention to in the 7th grade, this is where you're going to use it. Inside outs, spheres. I saw somebody the other day double turn one, and they turned a piece and they fluted it, and then when they rolled it around and turned it again on a different axis, those flutes became stars. I'm going to try to get that picture up on our newsletter coming out. In fact, the whole thing about this Christmas ornament challenge will be on the newsletter that I put out this week, and then we'll add it to probably on a website. It'll be there, and then we'll rehash it next week. Let's say we target this whole thing to wrap up around the 1st of November. That way, you get it all done. You got 2 full months of turning, and you get time to get the photographs to us, because we don't want you to send us all the ornaments to me. I don't have a budget for this, and that's honest. If you want to get involved in sending them to the troops, Doug just gave you his address. That's where you should send them. And Doug from Arizona, it's 4125 North Kearney Drive, Prescott, Arizona, and I can't read the zip code, but that's the number. It's in the chat right now. If you want to do that, that's excellent. Great idea. But if you want to be in our challenge, I want the photograph. You want the photograph. We're going to share those photographs. And then we're going to see just what can you do with a thought or an idea. Like Dane said, an inside out. You know, that shop scraps. Really? Dane, you like to do inside outs?
Eddie, this is Trace. I do a lot of Christmas ornaments and have probably 15 or 16 different ornaments I do. So if you want me to, I could start doing a short demo, almost a weekly or bi-weekly basis, picking one ornament at a time and doing it.
I would like that. I think it'd be a great addition, because I keep saying skill building technique.
I'm set up with video upstairs in my shop where I do the turning already, so it'd be an easy setup to do that. I already had 3 cameras set up there, so.
Okay, great. I would, speaking for the gang, I think we'll take you up on that, sir. And Trey, you're out of Lower Mississippi, huh?
Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
Ocean Springs, that's right. You're in that pack with the lighthouse wood turners.
That's correct.
That's right. Okay. Thank you, Trey. Appreciate you getting involved in this. And if somebody else wants to do something similar, you're here. Let's go. If Trey shows you how to do a star and you want to do an icicle, let's do it. I like this. I really do like this. It gives us all a chance to learn from each other. And it's not simple ornaments. great wood turning, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Some great wood turning. Hey, Ronnie, you gonna make a couple?
I'm loading up my 2x4s right now.
That's one of our oldest jokes around here. See, Ronnie has moved up in line. He used to get all his 2x4s at Home Depot, and now he can get the blue ones and the green ones at Lowe's. So that's his wood turning stock is improving. We teased him about it because I've been over to his shop and he's turned out some really great stuff. And I said, "Where's the wood?" He says, "The end of that board over there." A lot of times, yeah.
Hey, so we got Brenda put something really neat in the chat with the Christmas ornaments about maybe we should look at some nursing homes, and I really like where she's going with that idea. Again, I am not opposed to mailing stuff off to the troops. I can make that happen. The nursing homes, we're going to find an older generation that probably know a little bit more about wood turning and might really appreciate those Christmas ornaments. Maybe we do a combination. You guys get them to me, and then we'll kind of figure out how many I've got and what we can do. But I've definitely got plenty of rest homes in this area, and you all do too, all around where you are. And it's nothing to show up at a nursing home at the front desk and walk in there with anything, but a wood turned item for some seniors in the nursing home, that might be pretty cool.
Thank you. A club I was with for a while, about 20 years, years ago, we did ornaments and gave them to the Children's Hospital in New Orleans. They had a huge tree in the lobby, and we would bring them 40, 50, 60 ornaments a year to put on a tree. And they'd say, we'll take more. And it took me a while, and then I realized that after they're on a tree for a while and the kids are leaving, they'd give the kids an ornament. So they got something from the hospital to take home for their own Christmas. Whew, can't talk about that too much, but it's a beautiful idea. That and taking care of our parents' friends, or our parents. That's incredible.
And some of our veterans.
Veterans. Doggone right. Our veterans. I got something here. Brenda says, I believe the nursing homes have been hit the hardest with the COVID. Yes, they have. It's their living style and what they did. It was very organized gangs of people. I spent 8 months in one. Whereas you did this, and there was no COVID. There was no transfer. And the one I was in, we had a flu epidemic. They locked the place down for a week. I mean, locked it down. I didn't see another patient for a whole week. And I saw the same nurse the same times every day. It was that critical. Hello, you have your mic open. Can you mute it out? Thank you. But consider that. Veterans are the same way. There's veterans rehab centers and veterans homes all over the place. You do know that some of those folks are in there because they have no place else to go.
Yeah.
For us who have choices, they really don't. Gallery up, Dane? Anybody in for the gallery?
Nothing new, Eddie.
Nothing new. Okay.
No, I get back. Doug Miller's got something.
Doug Miller, he's back again?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Double dipping this week.
All right, I gotta find Doug.
Howdy.
Doug, talk to us.
Here we are, right here.
Okay, yeah.
Sitting here in northern Kentucky, just waiting on. There you go.
Northern Kentucky. Hey, we're sending a hurricane your way.
Yeah, it's what I hear. Speaking of which, back in late '95, I was living in a different part of the state, and we had a pretty strong ice storm that came through right in front of my house. Someone years back had planted a magnolia tree. That ice storm took about a third of that tree down. Well, in my cleanup, I pulled some of the limbs And off one of those green limbs, I turned this little jewel. And you'll notice it's a wing bowl. There's a hole, right? You can see the hole inside the bowl where a branch had started to grow at one time. And I got it relatively thin. It's pretty well that thin all the way through, from the wing all the way to the bottom of the bowl.
Hey, you know it's thin, Doug, when you can relate it to the back cardboard of a tablet.
Yeah. It's that thin or maybe a little thinner.
Okay, now that's when you get it, where you can say, you know, I used the tablet as an oversized gauge.
There you go. Well, and you can tell it was green too. I think you can see right there that front edge is a bit warped.
Pull down towards that nut.
Yeah. This was all finished with armor seal. That's what it was, which is a polyurethane finish.
Yeah.
Just a nice little piece. Talking about a skill builder, to hear that whirl going around as those wings got thinner and thinner, that was a little unnerving until I got it finally finished.
Well, at that point, you learned to go thin from the outside to the inside.
Yes.
You can't go the other way.
No, it's impossible. If you did, if you started here going out, about the time you got halfway, you'd start getting so much vibration because of the weight on the outside that there's no way you could cut that thin. No way possible.
No, but you learn how to step in,
Yes.
and take a little bit of advice, go a long way.
Yeah, I think those wings were cut about a third of the way at a time and then sanded before I went to the next section.
Good move. Yeah, a very good move. Yes. And I can see light through the bottom of the piece.
Yes, it is. It's still solid, but you can see light go through it.
Oh, I thought you were just copying Doug Rowe's work.
No, I didn't get quite that far. Almost, but not quite.
Almost. See, Doug does that so he can check the chuck. He is the first.
I needed to make.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Doug?
The chuck is still there. I said I do it just to make sure my chuck is still there. I like to punch all the way through and go, yeah, it's still there. Just
I thought
it.
maybe you were trying to lubricate it.
Oh, that too.
That's a beautiful piece, Doug. Really is pretty.
Well, thank you.
I've done some cowboy hats, and what I learned in doing the cowboy hats was every quarter of an inch you could take a step. There's no bite that whole thing off and go to an eighth of an inch or less. Wood doesn't work that way. God made it to do what it does best: move.
That's
and
right.
If you take all the strength out of the fibers of it, or change the cutting action and all, it's gone to move. I've done several hats to where I had to make them into baseball caps after the first bit of turning because one of the wings took off across the room. But hey, I learned how to save it. And that's what we want you to do. I'm looking for some thin turnings too. We just said we're going to do ornaments, and Trey's going to help us with that. And anybody else wants to jump up on this ornament band, we have 8 meetings between now and the end of that session. And I'd like to have 16 or 20 demonstrations from folks about how to turn an ornament, how to finish an ornament. See it, Doug Soleil? We're laying and waiting for you, bud, because I want to see that Parfix and Avonix polish on an ornament.
Okay.
See, we got him. We nailed him. He's here. All right. And it'll help you with, I don't want to keep beating the drum, but it'll help you with the technique that you can use on something else. Looking here for our checklist to see what we have. We still have the decals available for you folks that are interested. That'll be in the newsletter, how to buy them. It's pretty simple. You're going to send me a check, only me, or send me money, because the club, the group, the organization, the gang does not actually exist at a bank. And I'm not looking to change that. As long as we're not for profit, and we don't make any money and we don't charge any money, we're okay, because me and you can get along, right? But I gotta add that accountant in, and I gotta pay for something. Gallery up, somebody up for gallery. It's about 10 minutes before 8 o'clock. We're rock and rolling tonight. Let's keep going. I'm looking for you.
Eddie, I got a piece and a story to go with it.
A piece and a story. Well, I
This
think
is
I'm going to
Joaquin.
take you. Whoop. All right, sir. Go ahead, Joaquin. Now you're talking to the wind. Now you're back.
There you go.
Yeah, most of y'all are familiar with the lumber lady, Wendy Williams, and she's a member of our club. And yesterday we celebrated, well, we didn't celebrate it. It was our 3-year anniversary of Hurricane Harvey hitting here. Well, it was back in 18, the 1-year anniversary is coming up. And she called me up and says, Joaquin, I need some help. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, I got so many orders and I got this order and I need your help. So she's about 40 minutes away from me, and I went down there and I said, what do we need? She says, Franklin Graham and the Hands of Hope come in here to help out, and she needed some kind of awards for the people who are doing all this work. And she designed this hurricane bow, which was a wing bow. And she had an order for about 60 of them. Let me turn this camera down more. And she says, I got too many orders. I can't do this. And so we'll go half and half or whatever. So we harvested all kind of wood from Rockport, Port Aransas over there. So she had the wood, so we could say the wood come from there also. But you know, it's a wing bow. It started out with about an 8 by 12 piece, like so. And which she has a sawmill, that's no problem for her. And then we took and on the back of them, we did this laser, let's see, cutting, which is Harvey, 2017, the state of Texas, and a heart down there at Corpus Christi area. And so I got tired of making these things. You could just sell them right and left. Everybody wanted it for some kind of memory, you know, that. And but I got tired of turning them. But she actually come up with this. I give her credit. It's her invention. And of course, you who know her, she's an incredible wood turner as well. And I got a hollow piece, Hollywood. Well, I want to tell you something else. This piece is out of mesquite. I mean, not out of pecan. And really dark. It's really crazy looking. In the colors and stuff. I said, why is that pecan like that? She says, I cut it down. It's growing up next to a septic tank. But it was a beautiful piece. And today I finished a hollow form of mesquite. And I wanted to do some kind of priority on it. And I would burn these butterflies on here. And after I finished it, I decided, well, you should have put them all the way around the thing. But the piece just looked plain Jane to me. It needed to have something on it.
Well, it's great. Got great chatoins. It's really going to stand out.
Yes, sir. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Butterflies?
Well, it'll be something else next time. I mean, it's a weird butterfly. I mean, you know, it's mean looking, isn't it?
Okay, leave that alone. No more jokes about the butterflies. Okay. I've been having fun too. You know, I'm sitting around the rehab thing, and a couple of weeks ago I bought a Neige, N-E-J-E. I think I'm pronouncing that right, Neige. Neige. Johnny User's got one, but I bought a laser engraver, and I've been having a little fun with it. Now this is coming out of my PowerPoint program on my Macintosh, because they're not very Macintosh friendly, but they're excellent on all the window-based units. But did that. I have a couple of more I'm playing with, stars and patterns and the club logo and all that stuff. It's interesting times, and I'm learning a lot, but I'm meeting a lot of wood turners through that. In fact, we may have a couple popped in here tonight with us because the wood turning, laser engraving is an addition to your turning. It doesn't make it. I'm not a great fan of signing all my work and all that, but this might change my opinion on it because I can do the disc and put the disc in the bottom. I mean, I've seen Kim with some pre-manufactured disc. Haven't I, Kim?
Pre-manufactured what?
This is a, you know, there she is. I got to get it up here right. Kim, do you have embossed labels and discs that you use?
No, I actually, those are stickers that I resin in the bottom of my bowls, and then I'll use my branding iron for other stuff. But it's just my stickers. It's just like the stickers you do for sticker trading, and then I put them in resin. Someone did send me some little burnt coins, maker coins, I guess they call them. I can't wait to use those.
Okay, I see you had me fooled. That thing looked like it was it looked like it was a piece of plastic and embossed with your logo and all. It was really cool. Nice addition to the piece. It was. So, all right. We have a lot of talented folks in the audience this morning or this afternoon. This morning.
Hey, Eddie, we got,
Hey there, Eddie.
Doug
Oh,
at Polk wants to show something.
Who's that?
Oh yeah, I was going to show off. I don't know if you remember back a couple years ago, Doug, in Arizona. I made these Christmas ornaments. Oh, there I am over there. Okay, so they're Illumilite, and they're just
this is what
an
we've got to do
LED
for Christmas.
light bulb in them. There you go. So they change colors, and that was
Yeah.
a project I made for Christmas. And I did one in I think that's a salted maple, I believe. And then this one was
A little wooden thing, and then
pearl.
it's got
There
the
we go.
acrylic.
So, but they just got a cheap dollar LED light in them. These were ice cube molds that you get at the dollar store. You know, you fill them up for the and I just put them down in the pressure pot with Lumilite and some glitter in them for Christmas ornaments.
Do you go to the same dollar store that Doug goes to?
Dollar General.
Great source of items that you can use for casting, accents, and things like that. Great source of that. Thank you. Appreciate it, Paul Barn. And I imagine we're going to see a couple of those in our Christmas ornament challenge, aren't we? I think it's time to do that. Dave, let's see if we got you. If we can get back to you again, Dave, can we talk?
It looks like you're getting me now. I'm embarrassed.
Now I can hear you.
Embarrassed as I was talking, thinking you couldn't hear me because I was permanently muted.
We are having voice problems with you. It must be something echoing back. Boy. If you could get this as good as you get the newsletter, would be hot stuff.
Is this any better?
That's a little better, sir.
Oh, then that must be it. I had it too close to me.
Okay.
It sounds like you have more than one item going. Are you hearing yourself coming through? Because it almost sounds like we're hearing you twice.
No, I'm only hearing myself once.
No, I'm hearing the record.
Oh, I know what the secret is. Give me a few moments and I'll come back and it'll be better.
All right, we'll do that. We will do that. So we got to go find that magic button. We all need to find it one day. Any more on gallery, Dane?
No, sir, not at the moment.
Wow. Dane, you turned a dozen pieces this week or more. And other guys and gals out there have turned the same thing. We're waiting to see them. Come on. Your pieces give us ideas. And I saw what Dane did with that band around the top of them. Play with that idea a little bit. I can't do a butt on your bowl, but I can say if I were to do that and then steal something from that other guy, and put some colored resin in there in place of that band, and then turned out that colored resin, slice it off and polish it out. You know,
Yeah,
those
that
are the
looks
kinds
good
of
too.
things.
That looks good too.
Yeah, it's all what you can take a lead of an idea and take it and run with it. That's why I'm happy we want to have Trey doing the thing about the ornaments for us, because I would rather you not copy what Trey does. I'd rather you beat him. Really. I mean, think about what he's doing, how he's doing it, and what he's coming out with. And really, if it's paint grade work, don't tell Ronnie I talk about that, okay? If it's paint grade work, like 2x4, something like that, and you turn a piece out of it, if you can get it smooth, I don't care about the looks, you can paint it. You can accent with paint, accent it with dye, accent it with coloring, accent it with what's that thing Kim likes, that boat coating, that resin that she likes.
Oh.
Total boat. Total boat. That's the stuff. And you could use that to accent your pieces. I saw one online today that was turned as a natural sphere, a normal sphere, natural. And the guy carved it out with his Drem tool. And then he packed in a filler material from, I want to say Kraft or Penn or somebody, mixed in with medium thick super glue. And he's got 3 or 4 or 5 colors in it. They've a little bit in this one, a little bit in that one, and all this. He let it cure out, and then he sanded it off and put a finish on it. You were looking at it to find out if it was transparent. The accent, the colors, the ideas all came out. You can do that. You can do that. I want to see it too. It's top of the hour, 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time.
Jason, you still got something you want to show? Jason Paula? Talk to us, Jason.
Hey. Well, I know I talked to you about this bull last week. Well, I finally it was a pretty good mess, but I finally put it back on the lathe. It's still on the lathe, but let me see. Let me flip this camera. So, there we go. So it's a short bull and it is really thin. So,
looks good.
Yeah, better than the big crack that was in it.
Right?
That is an awesome recovery, buddy. Awesome recovery.
Yeah, I wish we could
hairy.
get that other photograph. That really looks good.
I might have one. I'll see if I can't post it up on the website or on Facebook page or something.
Send me a picture of this one plus what it was before.
Okay.
And we'll put them both. We'll put them both in the newsletter so we can see an oops and an oops fix.
There we go. And you know, I don't know if anybody knows what this is.
I just threw some away.
Yeah, well, I reuse them and use them as little sanding pads and behind my paper towel when I'm putting on finish. And then you don't burn your fingers.
Oh, that is cheap.
Just cut a little piece. Yep. Thought somebody might like that.
There was somebody making a cleaner sponge for your kitchen work that was just thick enough to do those pads out of, but I don't see them in the grocery anymore. But you'd have to use them to wash them out, and when they dried, they were resilient enough to be used as a pad, but thick enough to give you some space between you and the hot stuff. And that would absorb some heat. So if you're building up too much heat, it'll help you shed it away. So thank you, Jason. Beautiful piece. And if y'all missed it, we had a problem, but he saved it. That's what we're here for. Gallery, tools, questions, tips, hints. Got to remind you again about our website is out there at www.worldwidewoodturners, all one word, .org, O-R-G.
Doug in Arizona, jump in
Phil,
there.
I got a little something I can show you again.
Go ahead. You there?
Yep, I'm here. You see me?
I did a minute ago.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. How about now?
There's
There
no
we
way
go.
to test that 1, 2, 3 thing.
All right, so tips, tricks, and tools. Let's see if we can do all of these in one. So Harbor Freight, I think we've all got one somewhere near us. There is your $5 machete from Harbor Freight, or when you get the coupons and what have you. All right, so then you take that out, you cut it off, you throw that off to the side for something later, and you turn you a handle, and you throw that piece in there, and you grind it down, and you make yourself a homemade parting tool for $5 from Harbor Freight. And then you think, well, now what do I do with this crazy looking thing? I'm not even sure if it works. And somebody, I don't know, might have even been Steve on one of his channels where I saw one of these made, but it was a Christmas tree, pretty much made with a spindle gouge and a parting tool. So I made one. I was not impressed with it. My wife loved the dang thing last Christmas, so she put it on the table. I was a little embarrassed by it because I didn't think it was all that great, but I'll show you. There it is. So it is that big, about 14 inches. Did I show you guys the right side of yeah, about 14 inches right there. But it's just a spindle turn. And then the parting tool. And like so in each one of those grooves as it's turning. And that was a real simple, easy Christmas tree. Again, I was mostly just trying to play around with the new tool that I made, but honestly, it wasn't that great. But that's what I made out of it.
That looks good. It does. Yeah, yours is 14 inches tall, but if you want to play with one, 5 or 6 inches is okay.
Yep.
And you're using a parting tool. I've got a super thin parting tool that I made out of a DeWalt saw blade.
There's my super thin one I made out of the butcher knife from the thrift store again. I think I paid about 99 cents for that knife.
As long as you can control it, that's real thin. That is thin.
But it's really heavy. That's what I liked about when I was going through their bin and finding one. I wanted to find some steel that seemed pretty sturdy. My wife said the brand was pretty good. What is it? It's a Good Cook brand. So I guess it was good.
It's the XL series, not just real Good Cook brand. All right, Doug, you said you had another tool. I'm still.
No, that was it for me.
All right,
That's
Glenn.
it for Doug.
Glenn, start talking.
Glenn, we got you. Just say something.
Yes, I have a little tool, or I made me a Lazy Susan for my. I have a lot of short tools that I've made, turned to handles, and they're too short to put on my my racks that I have on the wall for my tools. So I decided, well, I'm going to make me a little small Lazy Susan where this way I can hold about 8 small tools, and it's all made out of mesquite. There's about 3, 4 different pieces.
And when you go to use them, you can see what cut it's going to be because you're looking at the top of it.
Yes, sir.
Nice idea. Nice detailing. I like the details on it.
All right,
What do you have on it for a finish? What do you have on it for a finish?
I just used spray lacquer, Deft spray lacquer, the gloss. Put about 3 or 4 coats.
Now those are shop-made ferrules in your tools, right?
Well, the ferrules are just the brass fittings you use for copper tubing.
Yeah, it said shop-made. That's not what I meant, but it is.
Oh, okay.
It's adapted to the shop.
Yes. So I haven't ground the 2 small ones, the 1/4 inch diameter. They're going to be, one's going to be like a point tool, and the other one's going to be a small, like a little small fluteless gouge. And then this other one, the other one is just out of, I did the same thing with the ferrule, but I used it, made me a tool for my carbide tool.
Okay.
And most of my,
that worked.
I've made a number of carbide tools, and I made those on most of them on a CNC machine, but that was while I was still working. But I've been retired about 1.5 years, and everybody in my club here in Corpus tells me I need to go back to work so I can make more tools for them. So
it's not all for you, you know that, right?
That I know.
Well, thank you, Glenn. Appreciate the update on that. Some beautiful work, great detailing. And you saw how he used the plumbing part to make a furl. And if you have an old style, I'm not talking the orange box stores and the blue box stores. I'm talking about a good, honest to goodness hardware store. And you folks who live in areas that won't support the big stores, you're lucky. You got folks that got parts and pieces and fittings and that some of these places could never touch. And I really like that we have one near my house. Well, it's 5 miles from the house, but to me that's next door because they have everything you're looking for. Open gallery or show, got some tools. This is it. It's 11 minutes after 8 o'clock, or 11 minutes after the hour. I'm sorry, say again.
I have a trick.
A trick? You're not going to do a flip or anything, right?
No. This is a low budget. So, granted, this is a roughed out bowl, but whenever you're having issues on trying to get your little sanding marks, or you're wanting to see if you got sanding marks still in your wood before you go and put your finish on it, grab yourself a piece of teacher's chalk or sidewalk chalk, and then color over where you think there might be something, and wherever the chalk line is still left, those low spots that need to be sanded better. I don't know why my lighting's not coming up good. Here we go.
Yeah, it's coming up. Yeah.
And so the white chalk or yellow chalk or whatever bright colored piece of chalk, it'll show and identify where you've got to concentrate more on sanding or go back and put a fresh grind on your tool and hit it with another light cut. But chalk.
Good idea. Let's go back to the old days. I remember when I was a kid, you had to clap the erasers at school to get the excess chalk out of them.
Right.
And today they'd probably sue us for some kind of air contamination.
Yeah, right.
Thank you. And when you're looking at you turn the curve piece, all right? It's a bowl or a vessel or base, whatever, and you want to put a good smooth coating on it, and you're worried about light capture. Remember, light capture is sometimes a terrible enemy to have, because you don't feel it doing this because your hand will conform to it and it won't feel natural. Get a regular pencil, and with the piece in your hand like this, take that regular pencil and roll it around that piece just in 2 fingers. And if there's a flat spot, it will stop in that flat spot. Although you don't see it, it's there because you don't have a finish on it yet. So when you're rolling it around, just gently, and if you can do it just between 2 fingers, it really accents it. But that'll let you know, oh, there's a little flat spot. That flat spot's going to catch light later. When you put all the finish on, it's going to be like somebody putting a spotlight on it. You say, oh man, how'd I miss that? Don't miss it. Go looking for it, and then sand past it. And sanding's not the only way to get out of trouble. I'm waiting for somebody to tell me what the real way of getting out of that trouble is. And it's open. Tell me, come on. You know, world's greatest wood turn, as you know it. So if you know a way to get around that, come on. It's your opportunity. I can't believe this. Nobody going to use
it the first time. Just
That's
do it right
one
the first
way.
time.
Let's do it. That's one way. But if you have a high spot, a low spot, we don't talk about it much anymore because it's not a favored tool that we know of. A scraper.
Negative rate scraping.
Yep. Get yourself a scraper. Learn how to use it and watch how it cuts. And don't do it on good wood. Chuck up some old wood, and then take a scraper and fine tune it with that scraper. And remember, they're cutting with a little fine edge. And if that edge gets worn down, the teeth get knocked off of it or whatever, it's wearing, not slicing, not cutting. It's tearing, wearing and tearing. And you don't want that. So you make a pass or two, and then you take out your diamond stone and you put that edge back on it, make a pass or two. Now you don't go to the grinding wheel. You don't go to the belt sander. You don't go to, it's right here. All you're looking to do is improve that little bit of an edge. And once you learn what that edge does, improving it, it's just like that. And that tool will be last a lot longer for you. And really, I hate to see the tool steel on the floor rather than up there cutting wood. Anybody else up tonight? Come on. What you got?
So I got a question for the group. Let me blow the dust off this thing. So I want to know if anybody has ever turned a gourd. So my neighbor is a gourd artist. She carves these things and makes beautiful artwork out of them, but she gave me one. So it's called if you're not familiar with a gourd because you're not from the desert, it's essentially like a desert pumpkin, I guess would be the easiest way to explain what a gourd is.
That one's kind of big.
It's really big. It's well, let me tell you how big it is. It is. This one's sitting at its fattest point, probably about 15 and a quarter from the fattest side to the fattest side. It's not perfectly round. But has anybody ever done one of those yet? Any tips?
I haven't. I'm looking for the input now, but you just got this, so this isn't the second one to turn, right? This is the first one?
First one, yeah. I've
two from New Zealand that has done some. I've seen, but I can't remember his name. Somebody from New Zealand.
New Zealand?
Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel. He does a lot of off the wall stuff and a lot of resin stuff as well. He's real comical.
Nick Zarcadi or Zarcadi?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'll look him up.
Yeah, somebody Paul Barnes just put that on the chat. Nick Zametti. He turned.
Oh, I know.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
He's in Great Britain or England. Yeah. That's actually who got me all into the whole colored pencil thing. Was Nick Zametti.
It was a wet gourd, Doug. Nick turned a wet gourd a month or so ago. He turned a wet gourd.
Okay,
it was dry. You know what I mean? He turned it wet.
So this one's really dry. I don't know how long she's had it for, but she had seen a lamp that I turned, and the base worked out good. I completely failed on a lamp shade, and so she brought this over to me, and she goes, "Here's what you need to make a lampshade out of." I don't know how you would do it on a lathe. So, I don't know. We'll give it a shot. I just don't want to ruin it because she gave it to me. So I just been staring at it for a while thinking,
You know the rule. If you can hold it, you can turn it.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you guys know when I try something.
Video. That's what we want to see. Thank
The
you,
good
Doug.
news is it flies off the lathe. It's real thin. It's not going to hurt me. Be like getting smacked in the face with a cardboard.
All right.
Just drill a hole in the top and call it a hollow form.
There you go. Yeah.
And don't tell anybody how you made it. That's and then tomorrow you can start a recording. All right. Anybody else up? We're open right now. I'm in gallery view. I can see if you want to chat. We got about 10 minutes to go. The floor is open, folks. I'm looking for some demos. I'm looking for some tips and hints and tricks and
So does it have a safety
savers.
tip?
I love a safety tip. Where's that safety tip at?
You know, we discussed it last week, trying to squeeze a safety tip in going forward. Does anyone have one?
That's a good question. Where anybody got a safety tip for today?
You don't turn drunk.
I'm sorry, say again.
Don't turn when you're drunk.
Don't turn when you're drunk. I saw a cute one today that said wood turning. We do it because murder is not allowed. So that's where we go for our reprieve. Go out to the shop and have a ball. All right. Hey, folks, come on. Let's wrap this evening up.
Here's a simple safety.
Go ahead.
Okay, a lot of people use a bandsaw, right? Please, right? Make sure that the bandsaw blade stops completely before you start messing around with anything. I know several wood turners that have got messed up, right? Just because they think that it's almost done, but those wheels keep going and going and going.
Yep.
Anyway, just be very wary of that. And if you start hearing a little tick, that usually means there's a crack in the blade, right? And you'll start to see a little forward and backwards, back and forth oscillation on that blade. Stop the bandsaw, right? And take a little flashlight and just roll it around by hand and you'll see the crack, right? Get it off the lathe, right? Now, most of the bandsaw blades will stay inside the case. I had one when I had my warehouse, right? It broke and it came down and it hit the table, right? And ricocheted up and stuck in the 22-foot high ceiling.
Ouch.
That scared me. So just be real careful, right? And inspect your bandsaw blades every now and then for cracks.
It's a simple thing to do, but a major catastrophe when it happens.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot about people saying my saw won't cut. How dull is it? What
Right.
did you cut with it? It's one of the most used saws in my shop, but I'll roll the blades out every couple of months.
Eddie, while we're on the bandsaws, let me mention two things, right? Number one, right, if you have a roller system, right, make sure that when you're tuning up the blade, right, make sure that the gullets of the bandsaw blade are in line with the center of the wheel, not forward or back. Two, right, make sure that the ball bearings, if you've got them, make sure that you don't have the blade right against the rear thrust ball bearing. Keep about 1/16 of an inch there and keep about 1/16 of an inch on either side, right? That will give your blade, right, a little bit of room. And next of all, slow your feed speed down. And if you slow your feed speed down, right, trust me, takes a little bit longer, but you won't get all this wavy crap, and you won't have super grab accidents. I mean, just slow that feed rate down and you'll find out it's just like the wood turning tool. Let the saw do the work. Just feed it in and let it eat itself into the wood. Slower, much safer, much better cuts.
Thank you, Mark. And I got to throw right on top of that one little comment. If you're cutting something that is round, a stick, a dowel, or whatever, do not push that into the blade. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Don't push a round piece into the blade. Stop it from being a round piece. Put it on a block that's got a notch in it. An L would work. Anything else to where you can freeze the dowel to the piece that's sliding through the blade. Otherwise, you see, I don't have fingerprints on these fingers. No prints at all, because I was a long time learning that. You push a dowel up and it starts spinning. You don't want to stop. You don't want to pull it out. And really, you can't, because it's then got up to whatever speed your blade is turning at. And it's wearing your fingerprints off. Great if you're in the witness protection program, but other times it's just a pain.
Hey,
5
Eddie.
minutes ago. Hey.
I can actually put my bandsaw up on the camera, and Mark can kind of talk through what he was talking about, and I'll play with my adjustments, and they can see the blade move back and forth on the wheel.
Okay, we got a few moments. Mark, you'll have to talk over the video from Doug, because I can't spotlight both of y'all.
Okay.
I don't think I can. Doug, I'm going to have you up now on the spotlight, and Mark can speak.
Let me get the camera turned around and put you back in the tripod so I can use both my hands. But so here's the blade, here's the wheel. I'm going to throw it off, and then you'll see what Mark's talking about. Okay, there we go. So my blade's way out of whack. So go ahead, Mark.
Okay, you bring it back to the gullets are at the center of the blade.
Oh, let's mention you don't do this with power.
No.
I think I'm pretty close to center right there, Mark.
That's
I'm
looking
a
pretty
little
good.
off. Hold on. That's about, yeah.
Right. Now you go down and you adjust your thrust bearings or whatever so that they're about 1/16 of an inch behind. You got cool blocks. Okay. Okay, you bring your cool blocks in. You always leave just a little space in there. Right?
And mine, yeah, I don't have the tool to adjust mine right now, but right in here's what he's talking about.
What you do is you adjust those cool blocks forward until there's about 1/16 of an inch behind that blade. Right? So you have just a little give on it, and make sure that your top one and the one underneath the table are at the same place. Right. There you go. You've got a little thrust bearing, right? About 1/16. You want just a little give. Right? And then when you have your fence up there, if you have that in the gullets at the center, right, and you have just a little give and you use a slow feed rate, right, everybody talks about all this drift and everything on the bandsaws. Well, let me tell you what, if you get that adjusted, those gullets in the center and set up like that, you put your fence up there and that should cut pretty damn true. Just slow the feed rate down.
If you force it, you can get through it, but what are you going to get?
It's going to make the blade twist.
So it'll essentially do that on you.
Right, and then you start going all over the place. Another thing that I do, if I'm, while you're right there, Doug, just put your finger down on the inside part of the blade.
Inside, okay.
On the inside, right on the inside of the blade. Okay, what I do is I take an old bastard file and I've got an angle grind on it. And so down at the bottom, right at where that plate is, the little insert plate, I'll put that bastard file up against the blade while it's running, not to the teeth, but just behind it. And that will clean off all of the gum and pine pitch or whatever you're cutting off the blade. When you have that deposit on your blade, it wants to make the blade twist and turn away. And then after I clean the inside of the blade, I simply spray a little WD-40 on the inside, and that keeps all that goo and gunk from building up. And as long as you don't have that buildup, and pitch and all that stuff on the blade, and you've got it adjusted right and take a slow feed rate, that thing will run almost like a table saw. And all I run is 3/8 blades. I don't do any wide blades. And I can cut, you know, peppermill blanks and all that. Just slow down. Keep your blade clean. Keep it tuned up, right? And make sure that your tension is not too much, because you got about 2,500 pounds of tension on that bandsaw blade, right? And anyway, those are just a couple tips. And again, never, ever, ever have your fingers or hands or anything in front of that blade. Always reach around back.
That side's not good. This side's better.
And have your left hand behind the blade on the piece of wood, and your right hand off to the side. And if you need a push stick, right, use a push stick. I need to get down to my, you know, I gotta set up my camera or my iPhone for Zoom, and I can show you guys all kinds of little things in my shop that make a huge difference for safety.
Yeah, Mark, so that's how I'm doing all of mine. I use my phone and I got my tripod. So when I need my hands, I just put it on the tripod, but it's real easy to move around the shop. So we'll save this for another day, but I'll just give you a teaser. So here's the original plate that came with this bandsaw back when I didn't know what the hell I was doing, as you can see. And then this one, I made that out of resin. And so what I did was I made my own mold out of silicone caulking. And there's plenty of videos on YouTube on how to do that. And I set that in there, got it set, poured my resin, and then, you know, I can make them whenever I screw it up enough. You can see that hole's starting to get kind of big on there anyway. But when you want that zero clearance, when I'm cutting the little pencils and stuff, I don't want them dropping down in there. So.
All right. And Dave Leader threw something out there. He makes his inserts out of corian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm a great fan of that, because if it's going to get used twice, it needs a pattern. And if you're going to use it over and over and over again, it's a new pattern to hold up to it. And we can all turn corian. We really can. Not the off-brand stuff, the real stuff. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up this evening. It's a little bit late. I appreciate all the input by our members and our co-hosts tonight, and look forward to talking to more of them next week, and looking for you to be back again. Here is a reminder. If you didn't hit save chat, go to chat. Little square with 3 dots. Click on that. It says save chat. I'm going to do that right now. As it goes to chat, I'm going to hit the little dots, and I'm going to press save chat. Now, it just saved it on my computer. But this won't be there, because unless I save it again and again and again and again. But you'll get everything from the beginning of the show when you came in to right now. I'm Captain Eddie Castellan, along with Ronnie Bonnet and Steve and Don and Dave. And I mean, the list is endless, because we're all here to talk wood turning. If we can help you in any way, send us an email. You can find our email on the back page of the website, www.worldwidewoodturners.org. Gotta keep saying that. And if you want to email me your photographs of your work, I'll love it. It's worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. See, they're free. worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. Until next week, be good, be careful, above all else, be safe. I'll see you next week. Y'all take care and be good. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Eddie.
Bye, everyone.
Hey, good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.
Thanks for the
Good
invite.
night, everyone.
Bye.
Good night, guys. Thanks a lot.
Bye, everybody.
Night, Bob.
Hey, Steve, are you still on? Steve Ogle?
Stay safe, everybody.
Yes.
Night, Billy.
Hey, I got to tell you something once everybody's done with their goodbyes here, or they can stay and listen. I don't care.
Cool. Sounds good.
I got to turn the switch off in a few moments.
Okay, this will just take me a minute. I just got to tell you this. So these guys, they've all been talking to me for a while, so they know I got back from deployment last year. So while I was over there in Kuwait, I'm bored. I spend a lot of time on YouTube. So I'd watched a lot of your videos before I'd even gone, because I've been turning for a couple years. But that's how I passed a lot of time over there. I don't know if you're a David Allan Coe fan or not. I am.
Yes, sir.
And again, I'm bored. I got to find things to do to pass the time. So I rewrote the lyrics to "You Don't Have to Call Me Darling, Darling," and where it uses all the names of the different music artists, I used Woodturkey, and you were one of them. So there you go. Some random guy sitting in Kuwait wrote your name down on a piece of paper because he was bored.
Okay,
That's
don't tell anybody else that. Come on.
I don't know that I can sing it to you, but I might find it for next week if you're on and show it to you.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
If it can happen, it can happen here.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I really
All right,
do.
I gotta hit the kill switch, folks. Otherwise, I get in trouble with management. So
all righty.
I will see all of y'all back here next Wednesday. Thank you. Invite your friends. Invite your club. Help bring the wife in. It's okay with me. Y'all take care. Be good.
Everybody take care.